Hasua bagi paidbah kacelam ni kelia kin sayo ya kalat ban mi ban jied ekonomi khmat haus nam arajar arpulai kat kum bala penkum daga riti sensiar paidbah jong kari India dangshen kacela kalayo ban saki ban paid dalaki jong ki khmat ya kadorbar mang pengka kebala peni paidbah lyngba kam megelia legislative assembly channel ha YouTube bat kumjuru haki cable channel hakini ki tayo bala dep kebala sedang nadu south rek luber bat kut akakat new rek luber arajar arpuar ya ka jingi shimenta jong kinong thawan kibana ka sensiar bat kaliang persya u shilong mil kurwo katian ubala pei perman ya kecing simenta jong kinong thawan u kwa ban peni shapi halo ki kato kat ngi kinomi khmat ki bau pai bau la jied hok sisa ya ki bakin pendap ya la ka kamram da ka bawan ra ikimat jong kecingkan bat ban pensngo sa sarkar na ba kita kimat ki dei ki bakta i pai ba ka ba kham kung san ka ba kani ka kun hun ka le ka long ban peni ya ki emily ki bidang sa jied ningkong sa ka yeng dorbar ki emily ki layo ban wan pha byang sa ka yeng dorbar bat ru ki badang yo ban peteng ban long kum ki mali kata na du kasnam ka ba ki la sa jied ningkong ha kani ka jingjit ikini kinong kran min pen I tang ha ka bai dei shwa bat kemli ki bana kari khasi jantia ka bodan hadu life ringut kemli ha ka yeng dorbar ka bandu pungon ka jingdon kemli.
So I'm surprised with the figures of Bermbong block, sir. It's only 948. But actually the numbers that have been surveyed were much more. And there's a drastic decrease which tantamounts only to 30% of what, or 30 or 40% of what was earlier surveyed, sir. So in the ground what is happening is that those families have already been surveyed, identified, they have already made their Aadhaar cards, they have already got their households photographed. Now they are not making it to the list. Genuine poor families are being deprived, and now these families are running from pillar to post to ensure that they get their due share of rights and especially of a proper shelter, sir. May I know from the Honourable Minister, sir, as to why such things are happening on the ground where people have already been surveyed, registered, and now they are not making to the list, sir?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I appreciate the concern of the Honourable Member with the household not included in the list. So, sir, there is some reason which led to the non-inclusion of the identified household. See, like number one, limited time was allotted to the state to complete the entire survey exercise of conducting door-to-door survey and data entry in the app. Number two, that technical issues encountered by the field staff while conducting the survey using the app. Number three, like the internet connectivity issues encountered, especially in the remote block and district. And last one is, timely communication was not received from the field on the problem counter.
Sir, however, sir, after going through the statement and also the all-party meeting that was held, we could feel, sir, that there was still a lack of clarity on the areas that have been settled on, the names of the villages, the locations, the space as to how much has been bargained or settled. And what couldn't be understood from the presentation made yesterday is that some villages will come to Meghalaya and some would also go to Assam based on those 5 parameters. Therefore, sir, we can infer that a give and take policy was adopted by the state government considering the ground realities based on those 5 parameters. Yesterday also, sir, the Honourable CM had tried his best to highlight in the all-party meeting on the settlement that has been agreed upon, but yet again, sir, the nitty-gritties were not very clear, sir. Therefore, sir, as things were not clear on how much area was retained as claimed in 2011, as a responsible opposition, we had to look for more information on this entire settlement. We were looking forward for a PowerPoint presentation. We were looking forward for the areas of how much space was given to Assam, the entire measurements, but then that didn't come, sir. So we had to look for more information. Therefore, sir, we obtained a presentation made by the Assam government on 18th of January 2022, where the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam had made this presentation before the all-party meeting held in Guwahati, sir. So this presentation that was made by the government of Assam, in fact, gave us a better perspective of things and gives us an opportunity to present a comparative and a transparent information before the people, sir. What can be said, sir, is that some of the claims made by our Honorable CM matched with those of the Assam government. But there are some areas which needed more clarity, especially in how much area was retained or lost based on the claims of 2011, sir. Sir, what is missing in the settlement, sir, is about the areas which do not fall under the 12 areas of difference. Because what we are seeing now is the encroachment of Assam. Just last year we saw Yongkhuli, before that several other villages, where the Assam government keeps on encroaching through luring the residents of free land registration all across the Assam-Meghalaya borders. Now, even though settlements are there for the prevalent 6 areas of differences, but then there are more areas of claims and counterclaims now rather than what we saw 50 years ago. So what will happen to these areas? As we speak, settlements keep growing. Status quo has not been called. And the settlement that has been sought, perhaps now we may get some of the areas, but we may lose most of the areas again in the coming few years, sir. The demographies are changing rampantly, where we are seeing the people registering Meghalaya's land with Assam. Sir, I think we should have updated our stand on this, sir, with the problems of today, as we cannot ignore the areas of non-differences, as we are losing a precious land to the tactics of Assam. And now that we have given away 66 acres or 0.27 square kilometers of land in Khanapara, few years more we may be ending up losing more and more land, sir. I'm not happy with the settlement, sir, considering that as a representative of Riboy district, this settlement with Assam, especially losing precious land around Khanapara, I'm not happy, and we have lost our state's gateway considering the settlement that has already been signed, sir. If possible, sir, I still urge the state government to correct this and withdraw its consent to give away 66 acres of land in Khanapara to Assam, as we are giving away the state's gateway and prime economic property that has brought huge benefits to the state, sir, in terms of revenue. Sir, we should not give up on the claims that have been made in 2011, sir, and not be forced into a settlement such as this.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I must sincerely thank the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister in charge PWD for his kind consideration in proposing the construction of this very important bridge and over the river Khasimara, which has been a long-felt need of the people of the international border in Mausaram constituency, sir. I would like to ask a question relating to the same bridge. What is the estimated amount for the construction of this bridge?
Sir, the span of this bridge is about 120 meters, and the proposed amount submitted is 24 crores.
So my second question is, sir, when is the project expected to be sanctioned, sir?
Sir, in fact, we are in touch with NABARD. Hopefully, towards the end of this month, sanction will be accorded by the institution.
Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir,
according to Article 315 of the Constitution of India, there shall be a public service commission for each state. With the formation of Meghalaya in 1971, the Meghalaya Public Commission came into existence on the 14th of September 1972, sir. So the role and functions of the MPSC have been specified in Article 320 of the Constitution of India, with the objectives to conduct exams for appointments to the services, operating schemes of joint recruitment for any services for which candidates possessing special qualifications are required. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I would like to inform this august House about the anomalies and the irregularities caused during the conduct of the preliminary examination to the post of the Meghalaya Civil Service, MCS, the junior grade, to recruit 38 vacancies to the MCS in 2017, sir. So the Personnel Department, Government of Meghalaya, had intimated to the chairman of the MPSC by its letter number PER 34/2016/11 dated 6th March 2017 to conduct the preliminary examination to the MCS. So the plan of the examination and the syllabus for the prelim exam was also made available by the Personnel Department to the MPSC by letter PER 34/2016/12 dated 15th May 2017. So records reveal that 11,401 applications were received. 641 applications were rejected, leaving 10,730 eligible candidates for the MCS prelims exam, sir. So the prelim exam was held on the 4th of August 2018. Results were declared on the 5th of October 2018, where 576 candidates were declared qualified for the main exam, sir. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, on the 25th of June 2018, the Commission met and decided not to follow or adopt the instruction given by the Personnel Department. And they refused to follow the procedure as per UPSC in the conduct of the preliminary examinations. So the members of the MPSC decided that both papers 1 and 2 will be compulsory and that the candidates will have to secure a minimum qualifying marks of 35% in paper 2 only, sir. So the aggregate marks of both paper 1 and 2 would be calculated and considered for the purpose of cut-off marks. Therefore, this action of the Commission in not informing the candidates tantamount to concealing of information which is very vital to the candidates appearing for the preliminary examination, sir. Even though the decision was made on the 25th of June 2018, which is much before the date fixed for the prelim exam on the 4th of August 2018, sir. So this change of syllabus was made available by the Personnel Department, was decided by the Commission without the approval of the government, sir. So the whole syllabus was completely changed, and the Commission did not even inform the government nor got their approval, sir. The candidates were not aware of the changes made and naturally have accepted paper 2 as the qualifying paper, sir. Thus, the MPSC has misled all the candidates.
May I know from the Honorable Minister in charge, border areas, that whether for the year 2020, 21, 21, 22, the whole amount has been released to the concerned district?
Sir, for the 21-22, the 150 lakh has been released, sir, to the department, sir, and subsequently will be released to the districts.
So we're happy to see in the course of response in B that with increased allocation of ISPADP fund, the infrastructure development in border village with Assam will be appreciably increased. So we have seen here the allocation, the amount sanctioned in 2020-21, it's 500 lakh, and 21-22 is 550 lakh. Even though out of this in 21-22 only 150 lakh has been released to the concerned district. I would like to know from the Honorable Minister concerned that whether the government still intend to increase more. If we look at many villages, only with respect to Ribhoi district also, there are 3 constituencies which bordering Assam. That is Jirang constituency, Nongpo constituency, and Mauhati constituency. And it has considerable number of villages. So at the same time, the state government also is talking about boundary issue, protecting our land, protecting our villages. I would like to get an assurance from the concerned minister that more amount will be earmarked, especially in this budget 2022-23. I would like to get an assurance that all those villages will be benefited.
Sir, as I said time and again, intervention in the border area village with Assam is not only through the border area department. There are many departments who are doing the department work in this border area of the state. And we have seen in the last 4 years, many of the villages have been benefit from many schemes of the government of Meghalaya. So, sir, but from the ISPADP, sir, we are giving whatever fund which is allocated. And I'm happy to inform that for the 22-23 also, sir, amount of 5 crore have been earmarked for these schemes.
We have seen after the commission in 2010, people have been benefited. Many shops, petty shopkeepers, dhabas, showroom has come up, and it has been a great help for the people at large, for the people of the state of Meghalaya, especially while traveling to other states of the country. So the issue here is about waterlogging. This is not a new issue that I have been raising. In the past also, I have been flagged off this very important issue because all along the National Highway 6, right from Jorabat, Bernihat, Umling, Nongpo, the whole stretch, during monsoon there is heavy water logging, which has created huge problem and inconvenience for the public at large, for the travelers. I'm thankful to the PWD Department of the State through the National Highway that the Ministry of Road, Highway and Transport, Government of India, they have sanctioned for the construction of drain along National Highway 6, which include in Nongpo town, in Umling, Bernihat, Jorabat and other places. The tender has been called and the work also has been awarded to the concerned firm. They have started the work also. But sir, through this 0-hour notice, I would like to bring to the notice of the concerned department through you, sir, to the Honorable TCM in charge PWD, so that they will instruct immediately to the contractor concerned to do the work properly, in a proper manner, because we have seen in Nongpo town, just last few weeks, there is heavy rain and there is water logging in Nongpo, in Jorobat and other places also. So before the monsoon will come, I would like to stress upon the department concerned that issue immediate to the concerned contractor to find out ways and means before the monsoon so that the water logging in Nongpo town could be avoided. Also at the same time, I would like to bring to the notice of the August House through you, sir, that even at Umling, where there is a screening point at the entry point there, we have seen there is a huge water logging always there. There is a dumping of medical waste and other waste there in the drain, just there at the highway, just near the screening point. And that is one of the most vulnerable places if monsoon will come. So I would like to press upon the concerned department to immediately instruct the concerned contractor, the national highway, to look into so that the problem of this water logging won't be there anymore along the national highway, especially in Nongpo town. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to raise this 01 notice for these very important issues to be taken up by the PWD department through national highway in our state. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would just like to bring to the notice of the House that in my constituency, sir, there's one college that was set up way back in the year 2005. But due to some reason, especially considering financial constraint, the college as of now has to be closed. So I would just like to know from the Honorable Minister whether there is any kind of special consideration so that we could revive this Saulingdo College, which is in Mogaya village.
Sir, just last year, we have approved for in the Laskin block for the Shangpung College. So as of now, I cannot assure the other member. So we will see in the, as I said, it is our endeavor to see that the need of the student community is reached to every corner of the state. So of course we will see, but I cannot say that we will help and revive that college as of now, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to remind this August House that in the recent past, an initiative by late E.K. Maulong and Sri P.K. Mahanta, the Chief Minister of both of Meghalaya and Assam respectively, had come to an agreement on the 22nd December 2000 on the Meghalaya government request to transfer the villages adjoining to Meghalaya border in area of Block 1 and Block 2, where the Khasi Panar are in majority from Assam to Meghalaya. They agreed that a joint verification by the Deputy Commissioner of the Karbi Anglong and the Jainti Hills be conducted in order to correctly identify these villages and completed at an early date. Both the Chief Minister also agreed that as a constitutional requirement, the opinion of both the Autonomous District Council concerned should be obtained. The Chief Minister also reiterated that the other outstanding issue involving both the state would also be sorted out in a true spirit of friendship and mutual respect. Mr. Speaker, sir, it has been 71 years now, 71 years of pain while keeping the struggle and hope alive. As reflected in the newspaper, sir, till now and forever, our people who reside in Block 1, they still yearn for the day when they'll be united with Meghalaya once again. Sir, it is with a very heart that I stand to share with this August House the neglect and apathy towards our very own kinsmen by successive government at the center, Assam, and to some extent even Meghalaya.
the untold sorrow, pain, hardship that they have to face and they are still facing now cannot be described by me, sir. Since April 13, 1951, they have been subjected to undue harassment by government officials of Assam and militant alike. They have been extorted and deprived of their rights and properties. They have been arrested for no crime. They have been forced to pay taxes on land, houses. They are deprived of drinking water, healthcare, education, road connectivity, and electricity, sir. And also, Mr. Speaker, sir, most recently, on the 20th of September 2020, a team of heavily armed police personnel of the Assam government, they entered Molober village in the middle of the night. And indiscriminately, sir, they fired more than 50 rounds from their automatic rifle in the air in a bid to terrorize the villages. Accordingly, sir, from my side, immediately I informed the state police who visited the site and recovered expended bullets and empty magazine. This was the case, sir, where even such a big incident, it does not even appear on the newspaper. And also, sir, on the 7th of January 2022, a youth who is identified as Nibok Langstang had ventured out to collect some firewood. He was arrested by the Assam police for no reason, and he was only released after the intervention of our district administration, sir. Until date, sir, people, especially from Mukro village, they keep on complaining to me time and again. They were complaining that they were taxed for carrying paddy straw, firewood, and personal use of timber. And that also, sir, they were taxed without the issuance of any type of challan. And this was done by one forest check gate which was set up by the government of Assam at Klesnero, just 2 kilometers away from Mukro village, sir. There are many more cases which never find space in the newspaper. Such are the harassment that those people in Block 1 have to live with. They are subject to survive without the basic facilities, coupled with undue harassment. It is almost akin to a well thought out program. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, when we look at the healthcare sector, at present, sir, there's only one sub-center which is located in Psiar village. And to avail the services of this sub-center, people such as from Mojem, Lamarang, Tapat, Skap, extra, they have to travel a distance of more than 20 kilometers. And also just to avail the healthcare facilities being provided by sub-center, sir. So therefore, sir, I would like to request through you upon the government to kindly consider the setting up or the upgradation of the Psiar sub-center into a PHC, or if possible, sir, to set up a PHC at Molober village, which is a very ideally centrally located village in all of Block 1 area. And furthermore, sir, one very important issue that I raise from time to time, and that is the proposed to construct the Katkasla Mojem Jikendeng road. This is the only road which link to all the villages inside the Block 1 area. I've been made this proposal time and again, and I've even raised it on the floor of the House.
Mr. Speaker, sir, with regards to the reply given by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, just 2-3 questions with regards to this particular bridge. Now I'd like to ask whether the DPR of the said bridge, is it complete or not?
Sir, in fact, the original DPR, previously it was already completed. But before floating tenders, then again we have problem because of the non-availability of land, which is to be supposed to construct the said bridge. So due to that again, ultimately we have to change the alignment, and the alignment is shifted downstream of the existing one, the existing proposal. So therefore, sir, now the World Bank is undertaking the documentation of EPC mode, and once the selected bidder is selected by the World Bank, they will start again for preparation of DPR, sir.
So two more questions. Yeah. What is the exact approximate estimate of this particular bridge, and whether funds have been allocated by the World Bank or not?
Sir, in fact, the original DPR, the amount was 20 crore 49 lakhs 41,356. But as I've already stated, due to change of alignment, again now the documentation is still on, prepared by World Bank along with the state PWD, and once the documentation is over, then bidder, whoever becomes successful, he will again go for DPR and then all the detailed technical survey, and thereafter they will submit the DPR to the World Bank for necessary sanction.
So you might be aware of this particular location in Shela. See, sir, this particular bridge, it connects, it's a missing link between East Khasiels and Mawsynram, and giving its strategic location, be it in the form of transport, military, and other modes of communication. See, now, just one last request. Whether this particular project, will it start this year or not?
Sir, for that, I can't indicate anything right now unless the documentation process is complete. Because right now, as I've already stated, the documentation process is still on. Once that is done, then they will go for the process of tendering, and once the selected bidder is selected, then they will start again going back for preparation of DPR.
So last question, whether Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and the department will take necessary steps to make this function as soon as possible, because it's a requirement and a necessity to our people in the state. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. As already mentioned by the honourable member from Shela, sir, this construction of this bridge is very, very important, no doubt about it. Therefore, the government and the state PWD, we are in touch with the World Bank. So once the DPR is completed, I am very sure sanction will be also accorded simultaneously, sir.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, Honorable Chief Minister has mentioned that around the overall expenditure is around 1,617 crores for the infrastructure of all the PHCs and other health centers in the state. But
I would like to state on certain issues with regards to such expenditures. Though it's a very progressive work, but at the same time, these PHCs and CHCs needs to be functional. This one Ayush Center in Saikarap, it's been more than a decade, it has been constructed, but till date, sanction has not been given yet. And at the same time, given the population of certain areas in my constituency, there's a need to upgrade this Majai sub-center into a PHC, and at the same time, construction of new sub-center at Nongjiri village. And with regards to the PWD department, the government in the past 4 years has taken a huge step in building and in constructing new roads in our state. The target has been mostly in the rural areas, and I appreciate the government in whatever projects they have given. But sir, at the same time, given the geographical location of my constituency, there are some villages where road connectivity is still pending. This one road particularly, this Mopu Umblai Nongseng Road, which was sanctioned earlier under NLCPR. Because of a landslide, the road is still pending, and have urged the government from time to time to look into this matter and help with the construction of such road. And sir, one more request I've asked for the government time again is the construction of a bridge at Shela River.
In the days to come, however, sir, I would like the government to also take a note of an earlier request, which is of utmost importance for the state. That is the construction of proper roads leading to 3 export points in Ranikor area, namely Bosra, Charagaon, and Bagli. Considering that these export points contribute to the revenue collections of the state. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, while appreciating this government for having taken a road connecting a new level, I am particularly grateful for the Nongstoin to Wakaji Road. A long-awaited development come through, and sir, extending this road to connect Wakaji to Ranikor will be bolster to overall economic developments of the section in the interest of the state. Wakaji has more than 100 villages fall under the jurisdiction of Ranikor Civil Subdivision, and the absence of the road is hindering objective of bringing administration closer to the people. The stretch from Nongstoin to Wakaji to Ranikor is blessed with scenic beauty, circuits, thereby furthering the agendas of the government to boost tourism for the livelihood. I would also request the government to kindly look in the delay of implementation of Mauplang Maukerwat to Ranikor Road and Mauplang Mausenram to Ranikor Road as a part of its endeavor to connect Meghalaya within the Meghalayan decade. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, through you I express my gratefulness to the Honorable Chief Minister for taking up a digital connectivity for a digital Meghalaya, and hope and pray that my villages of concern falls within 230-40 villages earmarked for connectivity. This has been one of the reasons for banking services to be the absence even in the areas along the international border which cater to export service. Sir, considering that a huge volume of economic activity independence of banking services, I would be most grateful if the government would also look into this.
I would first like to touch on the infrastructure sector. We could see, sir, that the government has prioritized the roads, water supply, power, transport, and social infrastructure with the objective of bridging the huge infrastructure deficit gap that has been prevalent all these past years in our state. Under road sector, we could see that from 2018 to 2022, the government has completed construction of around 1,851 kilometers of roads involving a cost of around 1,300 crores. Of course, we could see that this is nearly 3 times the achievement of the previous 5 years. However, I would like to emphasize that even though we have achieved such a remarkable performance, but still the government continues to be confronted by many challenges on the ground. We could see on the reply of one of the start questions on Friday that we still have around 1,472 villages across the state which still remains unconnected. In Saura constituency alone, in 2018, we had around 42 villages which have not been blacktop yet, but we are very fortunate that of these 42 villages, 12 villages have been sanctioned for blacktopping during these last few years. Of course, this gives us a sense of satisfaction, but I would also like to urge the government to kindly look into the villages, especially under Khat Al Shnong area, which still remains unconnected, and also to roads leading to famous tourist spots in and around Saura area, which needs immediate upgradation under my constituency. Apart from providing the necessary connectivity and also the convenience to potential tourists, we should remember that good roads and facilities have a good and a positive impact on the minds of the visitors and tourists about the overall level of development of the state, and they return to their homes with a positive feeling about our beloved state.
To the best of my knowledge, sir, the temporary camp covers an area that starts from Umding Pun at 7 Mile all the way to Dangar, which is in Mawsynram constituency. The length of the area is approximately 86 kilometers, and the coverage area is almost 748 square kilometers. So if anything were to happen as far as Dangar, would the said camp for Mongap be able to reach the area in time?
So the information is not available with me regarding the actual square kilometer of the coverage of this local temporary camp, so I require notice for that.
Last question. I would like to know from the minister in charge, after he's gone through the guidelines, whether it would be possible for the department to turn the temporary camp into a fire station camp.
So the proposal have already sent by the department in 2019 to the government for sanctioning of this new fire service station at Maunga.
Sir, in view of the current infrastructure construction regarding the national games, once the national games are over, I would like to know whether these facilities would be provided to the different state sports associations for permanent training facility?
Right now, sir, the construction of a stadium is on the process is going on, and matter is yet to be decided, sir, why the state government is in full swing constructing and operation of various infrastructure, both for outdoor and indoor sports disciplines, and that will be decided later on, sir.
So, I would like to know how many of our national or international athletes have been provided jobs through the sports quota, and what is the current sports quota percentage?
So, the matter, sir, has been sought from the MPSC for the information being sought from the MPSC right now, sir, for the job quota.
So, I would like to know whether there is any specific financial allocation given by the government or the sports department to the various state sports association.
So the department has been supporting the sports association since its inception and has been doing so annually so as to enable them to conduct selection trial, conduct competition, participation in various regional and national level tournaments.
When coming to roads, the other day there was a statement laid before the floor of the House regarding the amount of villages that are still unconnected by roads. In my constituency alone, there are around 41 villages that are still unconnected. There are 139 villages in my constituency, and 130 of these villages are agricultural villages. So that constitutes to 1/3 of the roads in which agriculture is the main occupation. So in all our efforts to generate employment, to encourage self-employment, I feel road is the most important aspect. Economically, it is not feasible to encourage farmers. The amount spent on unloading of goods is beyond what they get. A testament of a good road will enhance business conditions. As you can see, the present road from 7 Mile all the way to Nongstoin. As you can see in Lat Moreng and in Mokria, business conditions have increased. So I joined my fellow colleague from Ranikor, from Mausanram, and from Mokarat. And I'm happy to say that the Moplang Mausanram road has been allocated among the 800 crore project. So this is a road that is a backbone to many villages and the 3 constituencies that use this road. In altogether, there are 341 villages that use this road. And amongst all, farming is the main. I want to suggest, with regards to the traffic congestion in the city, the development of a link road from Upper Shillong, 5th Mile to Lightcore, and another link road from Umdingpun to Molai in order to ease the congestion in the city.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I know from Honourable Chief Minister, since this issue, this matter has got delayed, especially from the government of India. May I know from the Honorable Chief Minister the second plan that he have in his mind? When I'm talking about the second plan, the first plan that as a House we pass a solution, then from his side, along with the cabinet colleague, meeting with the Union Home Minister from time to time, then we could see that the thing have to materialize. So my question is there any second plan it is thought how to convince the government of India? Because I could see the government of India didn't understand much of our problem that we are facing, sir.
So there is no second plan as such. The plan is to pursue the government of India. So there is no plan A or plan B. There is only one plan, which is to pursue and to convince government of India that it should happen. But there could be multiple ways in which we do it, sir. So therefore, the honourable members' concerns are definitely are taken, sir, and it is important. And as he has correctly stated that the state and the assembly, this assembly had taken a resolution on this matter on the 19th of December 2019, which showed the intent of this House and the government also. At the same time, sir, multiple letters have been sent on 23rd of December 2019. One reminder was sent. Then again on 19th of November 2020, another reminder was sent. And further, during the visit of the Honorable Home Minister on 23rd of January 2021, the government of Meghalaya again had submitted a memorandum to the Honorable Home Minister from the government side. So this process is on, and we are pursuing this matter. The seriousness, as I said, of the government as well as of this House has been established by the resolution that was passed by the government and the resolution that was passed by the House. And therefore, sir, we will continue to pursue, and we hope that we'll reach a logical conclusion in this line. And I'm definitely open to suggestions that members would like to give in this matter. And it definitely is something that we all need to come together and try to work together.
Sir, let me inform the House that Umshru village does not fall under the areas of dispute between Assam and Meghalaya, whereas Umshalani, Amring, Narling, Domu, Paham, Pathar Khayong village fall under the identified dispute area of Burdwar, which is to be taken up in the second phase of boundary settlement between the two states. Deputy Speaker, sir, the boundary pillars are being erected by Survey of Assam. And how can the Survey of Assam erect boundaries pillars when both the states have signed the Memorandum of Understanding MOU to resolve the boundary dispute? Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the Honorable Chief Minister in his statement has given the assurance that the details of Memorandum of Understanding on border settlement will be made public, pending the final agreement after the tripartite meeting between Meghalaya, Assam, and the Ministry of Home Affairs. Mr. Speaker, sir, our government are in a positive steps to settle the first phase on 6 areas of difference, keeping in mind the remaining 6 areas of differences, which is to be taken up in the second phase. But sad to inform Mr. Speaker, sir, that government of Assam is already on the move to capture more areas that does not even fall under the dispute areas between Meghalaya and Assam. So how do we gain trust on the government of Assam? I should say, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is a breach of trust. May I suggest the Honorable Chief Ministers and the entire team, it is high time for our states to have our own regiment, that is Meghalaya regiment, to
also create an opportunity for allowing our indigenous young boys to be recruited in the Meghalaya regiment, and this regiment, I would suggest, they will be deployed on guard our borders.
Ngingej balangba kini ki video ki bang ilasiam na ka Meghalaya Legislative Assembly channel ko ba philayo ban paidbah phin ai ka jing bishar khanang ba ka jalla kan la ban sei ki dong tho ai kumba baro ki kwa khanang ba ka jalla kan roi kan san hapo ka chilam ka chunki